$137,000 later, my student, and at this point good friend, Arman, still doesn't really know what he's doing with his dropshipping store. It's very interesting to watch him grow, and this is the updated version of last week's video where he actually made $27,000, but that video was already filmed a while back. Now he's currently doing around 40 and 50K in revenue every single month, and also makes around 10K pure profit monthly. The interesting thing about it is that he's doing a lot of mistakes. However, the fundamentals are there, and that's the reason why it's working. And we're actually going to dive very deep into what the fundamentals are and how to scale stores very quickly. So let's get into it.
Welcome, Arman. I think it's going to be really interesting to have the second part of the last interview actually uploaded super like close to the initial upload.
Yeah.
And basically going to be doing that 1 week in between. So yeah, maybe you can tell what actually changed for you. Obviously, even though we're posting this at like almost the same time, there was actually quite a while in between, like I think a month or 1.5 months or something. Maybe you can actually explain what happened since then, what changed, etc.
So pretty much, I'm spending a lot more money on ads now, and really we just tweaked and kind of refined a lot of things in the store. So now I'm doing abandoned cart emails properly, like I have a proper sequence in place, and that's really contributed to increasing the total revenue. But it was really just scaling on what I already had working, in that previous interview.
Exactly. And like at this point, I kind of feel a little bit more confident about you in general, that you actually start to understand how everything works. Because last time we talked, there was still like a lot of things which you didn't know about dropshipping in general. But I think over the last like few months, we actually like filled in a lot of the holes which actually were there. And now everything is just basically optimizing. But I think maybe, like walk us through the numbers. How much do you make so far in general, overall? What's the profit margins, etc.?
Yeah, do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay. How much was it last time, you remember?
It was, I believe, 27. 27.
Okay, in revenue?
Yeah, in revenue, yep. So now we're at 137.
Nice.
So
AOV, July was over 50K.
Yep. July was nice. So far this month we're at 47. So we should be closing out. I'm a little bit higher than last month. And then AOV did jump up. I remember last time it was like 17. So now we're at 19. Most days I'm doing roughly 20. So obviously it needs to increase itself a little bit.
Yeah. So what was the change you actually did to increase the average order value?
Yeah, so the product price, we started with $11.95, and then we just bumped it up and tested a higher price.
Yeah.
So I think now we're at $14.95, but then I'm split testing $14.95 and $18.95.
Yeah.
And then we have
really interesting. It's really interesting that everybody. It's really interesting that everybody says that the ticket doesn't work, etc. It's whatever. Like it just works. So if you do it properly, if you do low ticket dropshipping properly, you definitely have more than enough margin to actually like work with. Also, what's interesting here is that like we didn't significantly change much. I would say like there was no crazy changes in terms of like things on Facebook. It was mostly just like testing the things which already work and optimize them. And there wasn't like crazy changes, right?
No, it's literally just testing new things, but nothing crazy. I mean, we didn't add, anything wild. I mean, it was just all the same stuff. We just amplified what was already working, and trying, tweaking a few things to see if it could increase the AOV or the total sales. So
maybe what was the biggest learning from the last like 1 or 2 months from actually making over 50K a month?
I would say, okay, there's a few things. So this is gonna shock you, Mike, because you don't know this yet. So you finding out just like all these people are gonna find out. I still do not have email. Someone doing my emails, bro. I still do not have. I am dead ass. Yo, I was talking to Jonathan yesterday, and I told him, I was like, dude, I'm like, dude, I have to jump on these emails. Getting a VA for the email.
So wait,
So
you still do not have a person who's doing the email support for you?
No.
Why the fuck? Why the fuck do you do it by yourself?
I'm being dead serious, dude.
No, but why?
Dude, so my biggest thing is I'm trying to build a team and a backbone. And I have, like, I keep saying, okay, I'm gonna go contact the VA. I'm gonna contact the VA, and then I never do it. And I just respond to all these fucking emails by myself. So that's my biggest thing, like learning I can't do everything, and that my time is better put in other places than fucking email. So that's my biggest learning. Also, we've talked about
wait. We cannot just move on from that. So
I tried to glaze over quick.
No. So wait, first of all, I take everything back. I take everything back what I said with you knowing more now.
Don't do
That's
that,
the
bro.
first thing. And the second thing is,
Bro.
I've actually seen this a few times. So there's this thing where you have upfront work, which is going to be more work than than just answering the email, and you just answer the email. And there's a lot of moments like this where you actually have like two tasks. Either, for example, you do something which is going to increase your time like crazy, but it's going to cost you like a week of your life. So in the first week, it's going to be super annoying and you're going to have to do a lot of work, but in the long run, it's going to be like time relieving. And most people actually do not do those things because they're thinking about this 1 week and they're like, yeah, postponing it. But in reality, it doesn't matter when they're going to do it. They're going to lose this 1 week anyways. They're going to lose this week. So it's better to lose it now, because then you're going to start saving time already next week. And okay, so clearly you did a good job of hiding that, but I'm pretty I'm 100% sure I told you a bunch of times. But the main thing.
No, you definitely did. You definitely did.
The main thing is that we start to prioritize that, and
I mean, there's a few things that I am not. I'm not gonna say proud of, but just not kind of annoyed that I haven't done. Email marketing is one of them. And it basically was what you just said. It's just postponing it because it's going to take a lot of upfront work just to get it fully in place initially.
Yeah.
But another thing, and I'm just out here exposing myself today for the email marketing. But another thing is
email support, by the way.
Email support.
Yeah.
The other thing was actually building a team in terms of like teaching people how to look for the products, how to build the web pages. That's really my goal. That's really my goal for the next however long, is just building up that backbone. So then, as I mentioned, my time isn't spent doing stuff that could be outsourced. You know what I mean?
Look, the problem is that you're in a spot which can get very comfortable right now. And now I do have the feeling that you actually do have that, because if I really think about what you're doing, it's not that much. You don't have a lot of to-dos in general. And there's to manage this store, be 100% honest, except for email support and the bullshit tasks. How many things per day do you actually do which are relevant?
I'm not gonna lie. Actually a decent amount. I get stressed. I'm going over the invoices. So every time she sends me an invoice of 500 products, I got to make sure each one of those she didn't overcharge me. The product obviously calculations, Facebook ads. I'm looking at new interest to target. So I guess maybe not. It doesn't sound a lot just me saying it, but because I'm still relatively new. I mean, I've been doing this for a little bit now. I'm still relatively new. It takes me a little bit longer to do basic tasks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but still, the emails and also the profit things, the thing which you just mentioned with the profits, I don't think at this point you should be controlling the suppliers' numbers like every day. You shouldn't go over that manually. That's not a task you should do, especially if you're going to have that, like if that's going to take like an hour of your day. So when we really think about the things which are actually productive and really make you money, if you only think about those tasks, what do? Facebook ads? What else?
Yeah, Facebook ads and I guess that, yeah, you're right. That's it.
That's it. So there's not a lot. There's not a lot. And you just like right now, it will be way more productive to focus your time in getting, number one, the outsourcing of the emails. Number two, outsourcing the profit calculation, and that's something I would actually give to, honestly, probably a friend or a family member. That's normally the safest way to go about the whole profit thing, because you're not going to trust like a random guy from wherever in the world to do your profit stuff. Right. However, with that being said, if you like, you're falling into this productive procrastination thing. Like if you really think about what you're doing, it's not making you money. You're making money and it's great, and it looks like it's because you're things you're doing, but in reality, the things you're doing and you making money actually do not have anything like in common.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's a very important distinction. Like you make, let's say, 2K per day or how much it is. You made those 2K, and then you also fulfilled the orders and like talked to the suppliers and did all the emails, and then you're gonna feel like that was the thing why you made the 2K. You know what I mean? Because that's like it happens the same day, and that's how it feels. But in reality, that's not. You're not being productive, and that's not time you well invested. Not at all. Okay. Right. So you need to right now switch and actually focus on increasing the margins, increasing the average order value, getting new products going, new creatives, new like backup stores, backup accounts, things which are actually very important. And if you don't do that, and if you don't do this, you're gonna have this like either you do that right now and there's no break when something bad happens, or something bad happens and then you're gonna have like a month or 2 or 3 months of no money at all. And that's gonna be very painful, because if you have this break of zero, that's very not manageable, because you need to prepare for that right now when everything is going great. And that's also something a lot of people tell me, like, yeah, I got blocked, so should I now warm up a new account? No, you should warm up accounts when you're not blocked, and then when you're blocked, then you switch the account to the next account so you don't have downtime. The mistake is done before. It's not the mistake is not, all right, I got blocked, what now? That's wrong. You first have to prepare for that, and then you actually change. So I feel like we need to actually it's good that we do this interview, and we are going to start to look over like your calendar more. So it's like, I think like one task which is going to be like very, very good for you is basically you filling out the calendar properly with all the tasks like super micromanaged, and me looking over that. And we're gonna, like, I guarantee you, if we look at a week, you're gonna see productively, you're gonna be working for like, I would say 10 hours max that week. Max. That's already like really, really high. Like things which actually matter, 10 hours that week. That's it.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if you really think about it, those 10 hours, that's the time how you made this money. Like if you just extrapolate those 10 hours to 4 weeks, which is like 50K basically, and you, instead of 40 hours of actual real work, you made 50K. Okay, all the other things are just fillers. You looking at like the dashboard or whatever. I hope you don't do that anymore too much. But
wait, say it again. Sorry, say it again.
Are you still looking at the dashboard every day for like 25 times? Shopify dashboard?
I'm gonna say no, just because I've been grilled. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say hell no. I mean, is it? So really, what I'm looking at is
actually
is
you
like,
should stop your screen share, by the way. I don't know why we're looking at this though.
Yeah, really, what I'm looking at, I do look at the dashboard, but I look at, okay, is the AOV, like, has it dropped? Is the amount of money that I'm at today, like, on par with what I was at yesterday? That's kind of what I look like, and that's kind of how I gauge if my day is going to be a good day or if it's going to be a pretty bad day instead, or a lower day instead.
So what do you do with that? What do you do with this information? What do you do with this information?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Yeah.
So now then, congrats. In the middle of the day, you know if it's going to be a bad or a good day. So what now?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. What I will do is then when I see that it's not looking like it's gonna be a killer day, I'll go to my ads and I say, okay, is anything wrong? Like, I'll go on my phone and I'll check all the ads and I'll be like, is there anything wrong with any of my ads? You know what I mean?
Okay. And then what's the percentage of time something is wrong?
Yeah, it's low. It's low.
Very low. It's very low. So you don't like check your ad. Oh, my voice is cracking. So check your voice. check your ad like 2 to 3 times per day. That's it.
Yeah.
And you don't need, trust me, you don't need more. If I'm not checking more, you don't need to as well. And I'm spending more money on you on Facebook. Yeah. And the same thing goes for the like all the advanced guys, like the really advanced guys, you're not doing this. This is the phase you're in right now. So the phase you're in is, all right, I started to do numbers and I see this 100K. And I remember the first 100K I did, I was refreshing this 100K number 1,000 times. Like, I was looking at this 100K so often because that's a crazy number and I've never made this much money in my life before. But but yeah. Yeah, that's a kid. That's not a dog.
I thought that was a little like a little dog, bro. Barking. Oh my god. That's why I said it was like a little. That's why I said it was a little dog earlier.
No. That you're not a speaker.
Was I on speaker?
No, you're not. You're not.
Yo, I'm gonna get you jumped over in this Coliseum you at, bro. Where you at?
From a 4-year-old, I'm gonna get jumped there. And no, but I'm just looking from hotel over here. I'm in Barcelona right now. But yeah, back to the things like what would you say the main improvements you actually did was, except for email marketing?
Yeah, mine is the email marketing. But the actual improvements was being on the ads. As soon as I it's like every day, because when I first started, there'd be some days I'm like, oh, my numbers look good, so the ads should be, good too. And then I'll go on there, and this was just recently too. I mean, we had this conversation, maybe 2 weeks ago, if that.
Yeah.
Where I was still checking the ads, but it wasn't as diligently as I should have been. I should be checking it too late.
Correct. I remember. Yeah.
I should be checking it every day, because then I'll run into things where one of the ad sets is doing like a 20 CPR, right? Where and that was the bad part. So you basically, like, you're telling me, so you were checking the ads a lot and you were actually doing this. However, the problem was that you were not killing them early enough, and that's actually a big problem, because sometimes you're just in this mindset of, okay, you have this ad set which was doing really well, and I kind of get a little bit emotionally attached to it, and I know I have this hope that it's gonna get back on track and it's gonna get back started. But in reality, if you look in the last like 3 and 5 days and it's shit, you need to turn it off and that's it. And you can recreate it or do whatever, but you cannot just like leave it running. And that was the thing what you're doing. So I remember we actually did change that for the last like 2 weeks or so. Right. And they're, I'm not gonna lie and act like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. There's still so much I'm learning, you know what I mean? Like, just in terms of mindset, in terms of like how to actually manage the store. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out a proper method, like a proper system for profit tracking. Like, I have a good profit tracking system, but it only shows my store. It doesn't show what's in my bank account, what's being being charged on my credit card. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm building a spreadsheet currently so it shows everything. What's in my bank account, what's being charged, what was made on my store, like like feedback score expenses, like the miscellaneous expenses too, which won't reflect on my store, but it's still being charged. So, I'm still learning, bro.
This is the thing. This is the thing. People think that you need to be this machine who knows everything to actually make your first 100K. That's not true. You don't. You have a lot of mistakes which you do right now, which you did, and what you're gonna do, and you still are doing over 50K a month. And the reason for that is that the fundamentals, the overall things you're doing, like generally, this this 5-minute window per day, you're actually doing good things. Like you're doing the right things sometimes, and that's enough. And you're doing a lot of mistakes here and there, but overall, we're good because we still see that you found a winning product, you had good ads, you did everything right in terms of scaling, you didn't rush it, we did things properly. So yeah, this is also like a very like big misconception people have. They think everything needs to be perfect to actually get things running, and it's not true. Like this is the same thing I'm always saying with you don't need a brand to have like to make a like a killing with dropshipping. You don't. And this like a brand means everything is perfect. Like this is this idea of a brand. Everything is 10 out of 10. Everything is perfect. You don't need that. And the same thing goes for the business as a whole. You don't need everything to be perfect to actually make money. You just need the fundamentals. That's it.
Fundamentals and basics. Yeah. I mean, and I think my biggest next steps, at least just on this store, not even including like other things, is I need to get some more backup accounts. I still need to reach out to the agency people for the agency accounts, and email marketing. I guess that's at the top of my list. But then even further from that is just testing more products. So I did test one. I think we talked about it. I talked to Jonathan about it heavily, but it didn't work, so I killed it. So now I'm on the hunt for another product. But now it's going to be a lot easier because I know the basics somewhat. I know how my store should be looking. I know how the ad should look, and
exactly. And as long as you have those it's probably like 4 or 5 things: good product, good ads, right Facebook setup, analyzing the ad sets correctly, and having a good offer, and don't having like a scammy store. If you have all this set up properly, you're gonna make money. Obviously, there's also tons of other things like algorithm and like Facebook fucking you up, etc. But if you just think about the basics, that's mainly it. That's e-commerce. That's it. So
and I'm still running into things that I've never seen. Like I just my PayPal is restricted, so I have like 10,000 sitting in PayPal that I can't move out because they're wanting me to prove certain transactions. So now I'm having to go to my supplier and have her, you know what I'm saying, send me a whole bunch of tracking numbers and information to prove with PayPal that I am legit. So I'm 140 almost deep in revenue, but I'm still going through things I've never experienced before.
And that's going to happen for the next like 4 or 5. The PayPal things are like all problems which are going to be like coming in the future in general. There's like 50% of them are super unexpected, and you're not going to even think about it. However, you need to like try, like with the time you're going to free up by getting rid of the emails, etc. You're actually going to have to start actively thinking of worst case scenarios for everything, and that's what scaling is. If you have something which is running good, just think of every possible worst case scenario. So what can happen? The product can die down, so you need new products. You need to reach out to influencers because you're going to have like a bunch of new video ads. You're going to have to have multiple PayPal accounts, Facebook accounts. What else can happen? Shopify could hold it, like could block you. So you need to like potentially think about a second solution, which is not Shopify payments, but something else. And it's just like all those like problems which could potentially occur, which are very important to think about. If you just try, like if you just try to think about worst case scenarios, you're actually going to find a lot. Like a lot of shit can go wrong. So I mean, from the things you saw so far, I think the main thing was just PayPal. What else?
PayPal, Facebook consistently bans. They haven't banned me in a long time. Knock on wood. So PayPal was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, I haven't really had too many crazy situations happen.
Yeah. And in some cases, it's kind of better to have them earlier than later.
Right.
So we'll see how this generally plays out. But yeah, the other thing was, which is like, I would say the essential of the business is just, if you truly think about only the tasks you actually have to do, you will understand that the money making activities are 5% out of everything you do in your day, you know. And I think we should probably talk about that, which is like, what would you say is the thing which you do daily, which is the number one most important part about the day, which is actually making you money? What do you think?
The Facebook ads. Facebook just monitoring them, creating new ones, and killing off non-profitable ones. Yep.
Yes, so that's actively the thing which is definitely making money or losing your money if you do it wrong.
Right.
Besides that, everything else is kind of like a bonus. Like everything else is just like thinking about the future, doing like customer support, doing this, doing that. So we basically have to chip off slowly everything from your shoulders and take that burden of doing all this bullshit basically to give it away to people. And yeah, then you're gonna see how your profit margins increase. Like every time I hired a good person, everything just went crazy, always. And I see it even more for this like mentoring program, how like what happens if I hire a person who's really good. It's just it's a game changer. Everything changes. Like you have no clue how much difference it actually makes, because I can only do so much in my 24 hours per day. That's it. And the same thing goes for you. And like slowly but surely, your time gets more valuable than your money. And
I think the biggest thing right now is I need, and this is literally what I was thinking about a few days ago, is getting a calendar and then putting down just tasks to do each day, because it keeps me accountable. It keeps me like on pace, because sometimes I get overwhelmed. Like I'll be like, oh, I got to do this, and then I have to do this, and I have to think about all the worst case scenarios. So, and then I'll kind of get overwhelmed and then end up doing nothing. You know what I mean? Or doing the bare minimum because I'm, deactivated. So that's kind of my biggest thing, is just, having like a calendar in place.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be shocked how much time is wasted, but how much time do you spend right now per day? Like on everything, including everything?
Maybe an hour or two.
Including the emails, etc.
Oh yeah, maybe like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically nothing. And so that is like for a lot of people that is considered like automated, like that's automated. That's it. Like that's kind of what people are striving for it's like 1 to 2 hours for work, because in reality there's not that much to do to manage to just keep things going.
Right.
And you're going to notice that it's more about like the making things work long term, which are going to take you time, and not making money right now. That's like making money right now is pretty easy because you already started making money and you just got the ball rolling. So that's it.
Right.
I would say that the main thing we did overall from getting from 20K to 37K is just letting it go and spending a bit more money every day. That's it. Like it's like in the essence, that was the main thing we did, and it's like it doesn't take that much time. So maybe you can talk about like how, I would almost say easy it is to get from 20K to 130, for example.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, all I did from 27K to 130 or whatever was I just increased my ad budgets, campaigns, and I just killed off what didn't work. Now, I did, and these are using the same 4 ads that I've had from the first ad campaigns. I haven't changed my advertisements at all. It's the same ones. What I've done, obviously, since then was implemented better upsells, and then I also have the abandoned cart email sequence, which isn't just a standard Shopify one, it's a different one. And I mean, it cost me $26 a month, and it so far month to date it's brought in like almost 5K. in additional revenue.
Almost pure profit, which is almost pure profit.
Yeah.
So yeah. By the way, if we even think about that, also we need to like kill ad sets even quicker. If you say that margins went down a little bit, but you still made more money with email marketing, definitely. By the way, like you need to kill even way quicker.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Like, okay, well, now I have on top of the ads, I have the abandoned cart, but it doesn't seem like it's increased my profit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Drastically from the same period last month.
Yeah.
So that,
maybe actually, like maybe you can share your screen for a second with your profit tracking.
So that's from the 1st to the 20th this month.
And then so 7K was pure profit from 45. And how much was it last month?
Last month in that same period, so you can see that's a lot higher.
Same period, and then the whole month.
This month or last month?
Last month. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, nice. Overall, it's probably like getting close to like 30K or maybe like 20, 28, 29, something like that overall, from when we got started. And this is, if people think about this number, it can actually be scaled. Like this whole process could just be duplicated and again with another product, and also this product can be scaled way much more. So yeah,
because I mean I'm sorry,
yeah, no, go ahead.
No, because I'm only doing 2,500 a day. I say I'm only doing that amount. In the last few days it's dropped to about 1,800, but I mean you said that you can see this being taken to 5-10K a day. Obviously there's steps that have to be put in place to get to that amount, but I mean that's only on one store. If you can replicate that to multiple different ones, then
100%. But then the main thing which people don't understand is that from 50K there's only 11 left, and they're like, what the fuck, wait, you didn't like, but on the Shopify thing it says 50K. What do you mean? You didn't make 50K? It's a very flashy number which most people like look at and they're like, yeah, this is the exact amount which I'm gonna do. But reality is, I mean, if you break it down here, like
I was just gonna say, if you look, ad spend is 17. Custom cost is product cost for everybody, just so they know. And that's how much that is. And then you have transaction fees in the bottom.
And this is also $3,000. $3,000 is transaction fees, which also people do not even calculate. Like on the first like couple $100,000 I made, I didn't even know that this thing exists. I was stupid. I was just like not even acknowledging any fees, any nothing, like zero of that was in the profit tracking. But you see, those 3K are not subtracted from 54K. They're actually subtracted from your pure profit. So without those transaction fees, from 11K, it would have been 14K. And this is a big difference. Every extra additional cost is subtracted from your profit, not from your revenue. But every dollar you make is actually added to your revenue and not to your profit. So that's what makes business hard, because every cost is costing you in profit. You make is actually revenue. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed that.
And also you see like here, you spend 17,000 and made 54, which is pretty great. That's pretty good. And I think definitely if we just stop focusing on bullshit and actually start focusing on things which are gonna make money, it's gonna get higher, and then we can scale this too. I think if no crazy issues are gonna be here in the next 4 months, we should pretty much be able to hit like 100K, like I would say that's very realistic. But again, we don't want to rush it. We like the 100K a month itself is worthless if it's still the same 11K profit. So we like what we want is from 50K to 11, we want 100 to 20K.
Right.
So
exactly, bro. Exactly. I mean, that's you literally took the words. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was just about to say I'd rather do less. I'd rather do 80K, but make rather than 100, but make more profit, because I don't care how much the revenue says. I just want to know what's going to be in my pocket after all expenses.
Exactly. There's a big difference. Like you can either enjoy this number of like this month you made 100K, or you can actually have money in the bank account.
Exactly. And truth be told, I'm very dissatisfied with this number. For this month, I'm very dissatisfied with that because and this number too, because I'm spending more money, or actually just about the same amount of money, but I also have 5K in abandoned cart revenue that should reflect more in that net profit. So I feel like there's things that I need to improve on for sure.
Yes, 100%. And this is what happens if you don't okay, so at some point this is going to go down and down and down and down. So if we don't do anything and you focus your time on email marketing or on email support, you're like, this is what's expecting you. Next month is going to be 10%, the month after that is going to be 5%, then you're going to be breaking even, then you're going to have to scale down, and then you're going to have to kill the profit. So this is if you would only manage the Facebook ads, just kill and create and kill and create and just do nothing. Okay, so that's why we need to preemptively now hit the next things to actually make things work again. And the next thing is just going to be warming up the second store. From there, testing new creatives just to not risk anything here, and start find a perfect creative from there. Take that perfect creative, move it over to this store, and stay scaling. So for me, it's almost sure that it's probably the creative, and it's just ad fatigue, which can happen, So the crazy thing is like this is probably like one ad, right? Like everything's one ad.
Say it again.
Your whole revenue is like based on one ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I have 4 ads, but they're all the same from.
Yeah, but they're really good, but they're not new, and Facebook sees that, and then the problem. Okay, so here's the problem. Facebook shows the ad to me once, and I stop scrolling and I watch it. It shows it to me twice. I do not give a shit about this ad anymore. I saw it. I'm instantly gonna keep scrolling instantly. And Facebook notices something goes wrong here. People scroll faster. We're gonna make the CPMs higher. We're gonna go make the CTRs lower, and everything is gonna start being worse. So that's why we need to have like new scroll stoppers, new openings, new pictures. Like even the picture, like even the background color of like a text or like a thumbnail or stuff like that are just changing it so people actually stop for a second because that's something new. They never saw this. And even just that by itself is very, very helpful.
Now, and this might be helpful for people, where can I or whoever else get these different ad creatives? Is there like a platform that you can pay to have them create it, or do you have to just hit the streets and ask people, or like how does that work?
You mean make new videos, or what do you mean?
New creatives and new videos.
Yeah. So there's 3 ways. Number 1, there's an app. I'm gonna send it to you. It's basically, it finds all the influencers which already bought from it. So it scrapes the emails of them and adjusts those emails to their Instagram accounts. And that means that if they, for example, and you can sort by amount of followers. So you're going to see everybody who's an influencer in your like list of people who already bought. Actually, you can send them a DM or you can send them an email, and they're super likely to respond if they were happy with the experience with which they got. And you're like, hey, can you make a video? And like that actually works very well. That's number 1. Number 2 is just make the video by yourself. Number 3 is get people in your niche on Instagram and TikTok to just make videos for you and send it to them. And that's basically that. Like this could be really valuable. So if you, for example, want to get really good content, the first thing you need to understand is you need to have a great Instagram account. Your Instagram account has to be on point. You have to have a decent amount of followers. You have to look like a real brand. You have to have social proof that people like the product. So what works really well is in your highlights, you're actually going to have reviews and then a bunch of influencers using your product. And if you then piled up, you know, so as the more videos you have, the more likely the influencer you're going to text is about, like, he's going to more likely be to actually answer you. And he's just going to be on your page. He's going to see everything looks clean on the, like the 9 pictures. The highlights look good, and he has a decent amount of followers. So all of this is very easy. Like followers, super easy to get with just even PPE ads you can buy, like you can get from Facebook directly with some ad spend, really fast influencer like engagement. The videos can be done first from like Fiverr or like Below or places like that. And then you can actually start reaching out. And so the key here is first to work your way up. So first you need to get people to make, like, who have very low follower counts to actually respond. And then you just go higher and higher and higher. And here, the cool thing is, like, it depends on the niche. For example, if you are in the beauty niche and you need, let's say, models, it's actually very simple. You literally just go through the followers of a popular club in a random city, and you're going to see a ton of girls which look good, which follow this club. That's it. You just text all of them. They don't need to be influencers. They just, you know, so that's one thing. The other thing is you also can go for proper influencers, and they can be on TikTok, they can be wherever, but you just need to understand that this whole thing with, like, yeah, I texted 200 people and nobody responded to me. Yeah, right. But how does your Instagram look? That's the first question. Number 2 is, okay, you texted only 200. What's wrong? Like, why did you only text 200 people? Because that's not a lot. If you really truly want to do real influencer marketing, you have to text thousands. It's really annoying, terribly annoying task. But if you nail that and you have like 25 influencers in rotation, which are constantly sending you videos every week, you're going to be crushing. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up, bro.
I might have to pick your brain on that a little bit off camera, because I have some in-depth questions that might, obviously it's going to expose my product, which I can't talk about on video, but I might have to pick your brain on that a little bit.
For everybody who's watching this video, click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session with me personally if you actually want to join the program. And if you have any questions about something, just DM me on Instagram, or we're going to handle everything on the call completely for free, and we're just finding out if everything is good. If no, we're actually not getting started, and that's it. So click the link below and see you there.